को लेकर प्रदर्शन बंगाल में था, तो फिर वहां पर हिंदुओं की बहू बहन बेटियों से सिंदूर बिटाने को, बिछिया उतारने के लिए क्यों कहा गया?
घर से निकाल के खींच के बाहर जाके उनको बुचर्स की तरह उनको कुपा के काटाया गया।
ममता बनर्जी की पुलिस और ममता बनर्जी खुद इसके बारे में एक भी निंदा का शब्द उन्होंने अभी तक इशू नहीं किया, जारी नहीं।
Should Mamata Banerjee, as Chief Minister of West Bengal, have visited Murshidabad or at least the violence-prone areas over there? Hello and welcome to yet another episode of One Take, and this time once again we are focusing on West Bengal, but more specifically on the violence which broke out in some parts of Murshidabad. But the question and the issue which we are discussing this week is something which has got to do with Raj Dharm. And Raj Dharm, of course, requires the Chief Minister to visit those areas where there's a sense of insecurity, where some people are wondering what the next day is going to bring for them. And there's also a kind of a fear that whether it's going to be all okay. That is what some people in some parts of Murshidabad are feeling. While the NCW and the governor's visit has been mired in controversy and attacks by the Trinamool Congress, where both of them have been accused of speaking his master's voice, which in this case, of course, as we all know, is the central government and the Prime Minister. The question still which is not being answered by the Trinamool Congress is that why did Didi or the West Bengal Chief Minister not yet visit Murshidabad? And if they decide to go by the time this episode is out, isn't it a little bit too late? The thing with Mamata Banerjee is that she loves challenges. Whenever she is pushed against a wall is when she hits back. She is not one who is fearful or reluctant to go to those places where action is there. And therefore it comes as a surprise to many that she refused and until now has not gone to Murshidabad. But before we talk about what could be the possible reasons and what were her political compulsions, if any, let's take a look at what Murshidabad is all about.
इधर का लोग कुछ नहीं गया है, हम लोग मिले जुले में रहता है।
वायलेंस को हम कंडेम करते आए, कंडेम करते रहेंगे।
बंगाल में राष्ट्रपति शासन की सरस्वती गवर्नर महोदय करें।
ये सच्चाई है कि ममता बनर्जी हिंदुओं से नफरत करती है।
It's mired in history, legacy. Siraj-ud-Dowla, remember, he was the one who took on the Britishers, but he was backstabbed by his own people. There's this beautiful Nizam's palace, which is pristine white in color, but it stands testimony to a story of betrayal, of violence, and a lot of it is being seen in parts of Murshidabad today, where many of the Hindus over there feel betrayed. They feel left out. Now, in West Bengal itself, the number of Muslim population is roughly a little over 27 to 28%. Murshidabad since 2011 has seen as demographic change. Today, the Muslim population remains at more than half as far as this particular town or city is concerned. But since 2011, there has been an rise of Muslim population by the statistics which is available of 8 to 9% increase. And sources say, and the government records say, that much of it is also because of the illegal immigrants coming in from across the border, which is Bangladesh. So what happens is that when you visit some of the villages in parts of Murshidabad, you actually see that it's very difficult to find out the difference between who the locals are or who the Bangladeshis are. I remember I myself have gone to a couple of such villages there, and I have noticed that when I was sitting chatting with the people over there, many of them actually inevitably turned out to be from Bangladesh. They have mixed so much into the local population in their work structure. They obviously have their Aadhaar cards. They also are able to reach out and get jobs, set shops over there. So therefore, the Bangladeshi factor or the intrusion is something which cannot be mixed there. But another interesting fact is there seems to be a common thread between Bangladesh and parts of Murshidabad now. And that is, in both the cases, it's the Hindus who are being attacked. In Bangladesh, the Hindus are minority. Today, many complain that in Murshidabad, the Hindus too have been reduced to a minority. The Muslims have been able to do well economically as well. At a time when many of the shops or the factories, the silk shops, because Murshidabad is known for its silk, were owned partly by Hindus and partly by Muslims. Now most of the vendors and the factory owners, hotel owners are all Muslims. And there's no guarantee that all of them are locals. The buzz is that many of them are actually from across the border, which is Bangladesh. Who allowed this to happen? Yes, the blame also comes on the BSF because they are the first checkpost. They are supposed to look at your papers and let them in. But the counter which is coming in from the BJP is that if many of them manage to sneak in, they get the papers, they get the Aadhaar cards, and there's no way of sending them back. And if we talk about NRC, then they start talking about denial of democratic rights. Which is why perhaps it was important that the Chief Minister visit Murshidabad. There are security concerns, but what was stopping the Trinamool Congress delegation from going there? The TMC has sent a delegation not once but twice to Manipur. They often send a delegation whenever they find some kind of a violence or breakdown of law and order taking place in BJP-ruled states. So that is what the BJP and many are asking is that why will you not go where your own people are staying?
वहां माँ बहनों के साथ, छोटे बच्चों के साथ जिस प्रकार का अत्याचार हो रहा है, उसको देखने के पश्चात ममता बनर्जी स्वयं एक महिला है, अगर उसके बाद भी उनका दिल नहीं पसीज रहा है, उनको वहां जाने का मन नहीं कर रहा है और वो वहां जा नहीं रही है मुख्यमंत्री होते हुए भी. She hates Hindus और इस बात को हमें मानना पड़ेगा.
Why is Mamata Banerjee running away from visiting Murshidabad? One, her core vote bank, even no one can deny, happens to be the over 27 to 28% of the Muslim population in the state. She cannot afford to hurt them, which is a political compulsion, just as the BJP cannot hurt the Hindu population. Mamata Banerjee was requested by many of the Muslim Maulvis to meet them. She did meet them at the Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Auditorium in Kolkata. She tried to reassure them. She made appeals. But look at the recent statement which has been issued by the police in Murshidabad. They clearly blame the RSS and the BJP for the violence. Is the police supposed to speak the language which a politician does? If today the Trinamool Congress is accusing the NCW and the governor's office of speaking the language of the BJP, then why is the police speaking the language of the Trinamool Congress is what the BJP is asking. And why is it that a chief minister who doesn't shy away from running to any area of conflict is not yet gone to Murshidabad? Fine, she does not want to go, there may be security concerns, maybe she doesn't want a disruption of the law and order situation and return to normalcy. But how about sending a TMC delegation? While they talk about Raj Dharm, every time the Prime Minister is questioned that why are you not going to Manipur? Every time there's a pot shot at him, both from the Congress as well as from the TMC, that you have time to travel abroad, but why not Manipur? So why can't the same question today be asked of the Chief Minister and also of the Trinamool Congress? No convincing replies have come in from there as well. We'll have to wait and watch to see whether they break it, the norm, and actually turn up there, or whether they'll stay away. Because if they do stay away, then that's exactly what the BJP will make an issue of. Your double standards, your selective outrage, and pandering to the minority vote bank. And therefore, I leave you viewers, and many of us are from Bengal. I have family in Murshidabad, and I know that how perturbed they are. I'm not going to overplay the Hindu versus Muslim fight over there. The issue larger over here is of a breakdown of law and order. And therefore, I leave you with asking you this question. Should the Chief Minister shown a Raj Dharm and gone to the violence-hit areas of Murshidabad? Thank you so much for watching.